Hello everybody, my name is Olufalu and welcome to 101 with the Humble Prince. Today I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day. Why is this holiday so important to women especially, and why we've been celebrating this holiday since 270 AD, the frenzy behind it, the gift giving, women that that don't have a Valentine's and say Jesus is their Valentine. It should be a fun discussion. I'll be joined by my guests later, but first we actually sent some of our street team members to go on the streets of Nigeria and just ask people generally what they think about Valentine's Day. Check it out. We'll be right back.
No, I don't have anything to say, sorry.
You're not preparing for Val?
I don't have a vow. I'm not preparing for vow.
Can I make one for you?
No, thank you. It's not a day you're supposed to be with your boo, just your boo alone. It might be those persons you've not even talked to, those persons you've been in conflict for a long time, maybe probably a time for resettlement.
And there was one Valentine I'll never forget where I went to an orphanage home. So I think that was basically where I got the right impression about Valentine. It must not completely be a babe or a boo or whatever, but just show love to someone and that's it.
Okay, and personally, I don't believe in love, so I think Valentine is just a holiday that was cooked up by some people to just celebrate it. I will be at home, I don't know, maybe seeing a movie and eating popcorn. My family members now, my people. No boo. No boo. My boo has a boo, so why would I deceive myself?
Welcome back everybody to 101 with the Humble Prince, and like I said, we're talking about Valentine's Day. One quick fact, approximately 150 million Valentine's Day cards are exchanged annually, making it the second most popular card sending holiday after Christmas. Honestly, I thought Mother's Day was the #1 holiday, but I guess Valentine's Day is up there. But to chop it up with me today, I have my beautiful guest in the house, Tess Lasbury, who's a matchmaker and relationship coach. Tess, welcome to 101 with the Humble Prince.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I don't think I...
We'll see how thankful you are when I'm done with you.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much. Hey, you just made history.
How did I make history?
Oh, you're the first guest on 101 with the Humble Prince.
Oh, I'm special. Should I do it then?
The confetti coming down.
Yes.
So, I took a survey about Valentine's Day, and I guess this kind of exhibits how important Valentine's Day is to men. Only 23%
of the respondents
were men, and 77% were women. And we touched on how people celebrate Valentine's Day in Nigeria and here compared to. So, what do you think about Valentine's Day on the overall picture?
My personal philosophy on Valentine's Day is just that it's another day. It's not a particularly special day to me, but I understand its importance.
Okay.
I do think that Valentine's Day is important because of its commercial value, right?
Okay.
So the commercial indoctrination of Valentine's Day, from the time you're little, you make a card for your mother when you're in like elementary school, and then when you get older, you start to, find Valentines or whatever. But I do think now as an adult, for the people that do indulge in Valentine's Day, it's an important day because usually it's the day that you get after you messed up on Christmas and you didn't do what you needed to do on Christmas, or maybe her birthday or your anniversary or just Thursday. And that is your opportunity to express yourself. Now, if you're consistent throughout the year in celebrating each other, then Valentine's Day doesn't hold the same cachet. But it is an important day for that reason. So I don't knock it. For me personally, it's not the most important day of the year.
Yeah, I think, for women in general, it's like you said, it's a very, very important day for them.
I think it's symbolic. I think because most men may not be as inclined to be romantic in their gestures. It's not considered. It's
important to some men.
It's not considered masculine to be romantic for no reason. Flowers for no reason, or whatever contentious relationship you have. Flowers show up on Friday, and you're like, well, why did you send me flowers? Or who knows? But Valentine's Day is this day, line drawn in the sand. Do something nice. Right. Because you don't usually do those things.
Here's one thing I wanted to touch on, and the way people celebrate Valentine's Day here in the United States and a country, Nigeria, where we're from. I did a survey, like I said, and based on location and if their relationship status and the kind of gifts they would like to receive on Valentine's Day. In Nigeria, the typical gift people wanted to receive were either a very nice baked cake, a cell phone, or a car. And they were serious. As compared to in the United States and the UK, Some women were just okay with, spend time with their man, receiving flowers, a box of chocolates, or just, maybe perfume. But in Nigeria, gifts like that are seen as rubbish. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that Nigeria is the epitome of commercialism and materialism, right? I think that that it's just what it is.
Just what it
so
is.
when you deal with materialism, Nigeria takes it to another level, right?
Sure do, yeah.
So Valentine's is primarily a commercial holiday, like more so than when people rail against Christmas losing its meaning. Valentine's Day is really an opportunity to sell cards and chocolates in the United States. Oh, and balloons and flowers.
Right.
That's the purpose, the main purpose. That's what the main purpose of advertising is.
Right.
Well, in Nigeria, we can't do anything small. We need to do it up
it's
big. So I don't want chocolates in Nigeria. I want a car.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
right.
that there could be.
And I tell you, man, social media is not helping. And I feel bad for those women that don't have Valentines and those women that have to say, oh, Jesus is my Valentine.
Jesus is everybody's Valentine.
No, he's not. Jesus doesn't have time for that.
See, Jesus is not Prince's Valentine because nobody likes him.
Everybody
but
loves me.
Jesus loves everyone, and Jesus is everybody's
You know
Valentine.
what? Those women that say Jesus is their Valentine, I think deep down they really wish they had a Valentine. So my advice to you, like I put on my Instagram the other day, was if you don't have a Valentine's, don't say Jesus is your Valentine's. Pray to Jesus to send you a Valentine, and he'll send one. If you start praying now, he'll send one before.
I don't know. It's
Right.
not. We have but so many days, but
Yeah.
I think you should always pray for a Valentine. But on Valentine's Day has a weird connotation for people,
Right.
Particularly in the States. I get a lot of business in my relationship
Okay, good.
and the relationship and matchmaking business around Valentine's because people are like, oh, another one has come and I'm by myself, when in reality what's most important is how good you are to yourself and how good you feel about yourself. And once you are good to yourself and feel great about yourself, then you really you attract great potential
You
Valentines.
sound like Oprah and Iyanla right
It's
now.
just it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Who wants to be around a miserable person?
True. You
You
definitely have
I
to
don't
say.
want to be your Valentine's Day if you're bitter and horrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to be your Valentine if you're bitter and horrible, like our friend here.
But again, from that survey, like I said, only 23% of the men took it. From what I realized, though, and not using myself as an example, but I think Valentine's Day means a lot to men during the chasing stage. Like when they're chasing, they're trying to woo her in and everything.
See, but
Blah, blah. So as soon as they get her, and maybe even get married, Valentine's Day is out the door.
that's because you're shady.
Oh!
That's because you're shady, because it wasn't real. Because it wasn't real.
Right.
So you did all the gifts and stuff and all that other stuff, and you set a precedent, but once you get her, then you let it go.
Women
And
change too after marriage. It's not
that's
just
what
men.
we had this conversation previously.
I know.
You know
Yes.
what?
So-
if you love yourself,
Right.
then you are yourself, and then you stay yourself throughout the whole process, even after you've caught the person. If you were trying to be something different to catch that person, once you catch them, you just let go. You undo your belt and you show your whole stomach.
Right.
Fine.
Wow. Don't show your stomach.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what?
Right. So here's
Whatever.
another thing. I think another reason why women take Valentine's Day so serious in Nigeria is because is that one day they have for their men to be romantic to them. Because they say Nigerian men generally we're not that romantic, especially the ones in Nigeria. I didn't say that, guys. Honestly, we did a lot of studying about this, and they're saying Nigerian men in Nigeria are not really that romantic. So they feel like this is that one time, other than their birthday or their wedding anniversary day or whatever, to really get that gift. What do you think about that?
Well, again, and I think it serves its purpose all around the world where people do
Right.
celebrate Valentine's, that it's demonstrative, right? So
Right.
the guy's been kind of like, it's Valentine's Day. I paid the electric bill. Oh, look at that, right? You should be happy. No. So at least in that day, this is the line in the sand. This is the thing that, says, let me do something that for no good reason other than it's this day and I want to demonstrate things. Now, you could choose other days. You could choose the holidays. You could choose someone's birthday.
Be
You could choose your
spontaneous. Choose
anniversary.
every day.
I mean, it doesn't have to be every day, because if it's
Okay.
every day, then it kind of
It's not
kills
special,
everything.
right.
But I think that the thing that people don't realize that nurtures a great relationship are just two main things, and there have been great studies about it. I think the Gottmans did this, but it's kindness and generosity. So consistent kindness and consistent generosity nurtures a relationship. So if you're consistently kind and generous all throughout the year, then you can really just breeze on through Valentine's Day. But if you've been a slouch or a sucker and haven't been doing your job, then Valentine's Day comes around and it's your last ditch effort to show that you care.
I could be messed up all year round as long as I represent on Valentine's Day. That absolves me from the rest of the day.
It doesn't absolve you from the rest of the year, okay?
the rest of the year,
What it does though is it just lets you get to the next day without too much trouble.
Another thing I wanted to touch on is that I was reading online is that for some Nigerian men, it's actually like bragging rights for them to say, you know what, I bought my wife
This thing.
Of
course.
And they can use it as, a bargaining chip.
I do not think relationships are about bargaining.
Thank you. It
But
shouldn't be.
Relationships aren't a battle, like
not.
you're not trying to sneak up on somebody and get things or whatever. If you're consistently kind and generous throughout the whole year, then Valentine's can be easy for you.
Right.
And if you do something out of the kindness of your heart, that could be great too. Now, if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to give somebody a car, then don't marry or date somebody who would require a car.
Like too high maintenance.
Yeah, but what would be more important to me is like that if someone gave me something that said that they paid attention, noticed that I was tense and sent me to get a massage or something, or somebody who paid attention to me. That's much more appreciated than a cell phone. I have one, it works. I don't need a new one.
Right.
But again, it's about the thought behind it to me.
Okay. I think that, and again, from what the survey showed, like I said, I took the survey I put out, I think what it shows is that, to be honest with you, the women in Nigeria, I don't want to say they're more materialistic, but what they want.
That's not, that you can say that.
Oh, well, I don't, I just don't want to generalize too much, but from what the survey showed was that giving them a box of chocolate and flowers
That's not their thing.
Was rubbish, honestly. And I did some further reading, but like the women here in the diaspora, they preferred stuff like spending time, massage, some actual vacation, but for them to go together, shopping and stuff like that. So I think that's just common. But to put pressure on the men and say, you know what, don't give me no nonsense flowers or cake and everything. I just think it's.
But again, you know what? Again, who is more problematic? The person who is difficult, or the person who chose to be with a difficult person?
Hey, I guess we'll have to.
I think that you have to always look to yourself. When you're with somebody who wants something that you don't want to provide or you don't value, it's always you. You chose the person that wanted the car, so maybe you should check yourself. You should check your own material meter, your own materialism.
Right.
But I think that Valentine's Day is something that could be a nice part of a beautiful year together. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be the romance of your relationship.
Definitely.
If that's what's important to you. But again, to each his own. Depends on what your kind of relationship you have.
Right. Teresa, thank you so much for that. I'm just going to say that Valentine's Day should be a day. It's not just a woman's day. It's a day for a man and a woman who are lovers, so that you appreciate one another. Go out, enjoy yourself, and don't put too much pressure on yourselves, and just focus on the gift giving. So what if he gives you a car on Valentine's Day and he treats you messed up for the rest of the year? So I'm not really about that. So enjoy each other. And women, sex is not a gift. Okay? Sex is not a Valentine's Day gift. So
really,
no, it's not.
Really simple. I don't understand why people use sex as a bargaining chip, because sex is definitely not a gift.
We'll have to say that.
But you know what? That's telling on your relationship.
Exactly.
If you're using sex as a present.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Now, jollof rice and sex. Now that's a gift. That's a delicious gift.
Hey guys, that's a tip. So Teresa, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, you made history. How can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, TESSTAWK. And just, if you find me on Facebook, look for Tess L Matchmaker, or connect through Prince's page or whatever, and you can find me, and then we can just have have a conversation about what it is that I do, and I can make your life much easier so that Valentine's isn't the only day that you shine.
Whew. I wish we had more time. We'll be right back, guys. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my little take on Valentine's Day, February 14th. I'd like to thank my guest, Tess Lasbury, for joining me for a very hearty conversation. I'd like to hear from you guys. Please follow me on Twitter at Humble Prince Olu, on Instagram at Humble Prince as well, and on Facebook, just Humble Prince Olu. Give us some feedback. What did you think about Valentine's Day? What do you think about the show overall? And what would you guys like us to discuss? Also, check out some of our other shows. And before I leave, I'd like to leave you guys with this one little piece of nugget. Remember, like the book of Ecclesiastes says, we're going to be dead longer than we ever lived. You only have one life to live. Please make the best of it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.